Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. Host Aaron Cooney here with you. It's time for our Case of the Week here. Matt Desmond joining me, also Chris Hoffman off to my left. And guys, let's take a look at it. We're going to talk a little bit of Penguins hockey right now. They got 23 games left on the schedule, 6th in the East, 4th in the Atlantic Division. But, Brent Johnson, backup goalie for the Penguins, had a rough outing just this past Sunday, I should say, against Buffalo. In his first two shots, ended up let up 3 goals in just a period and a half of play. Is this something that the Penguins should be worried about, and should they go out and maybe make a move? We'll start with Matt.
Yeah, I really think it is a problem for the Penguins. You saw in that last game against Buffalo that Brent Johnson wasn't really there in that game. He really wasn't getting a lot of help from his defense in that game, but he only stopping 12 shots stopping 9 shots out of 12, and he's been 3-7-2 on the season. That's not what you want from a backup goalie in this season. And I really think they're going to have to go out and find a veteran. Maybe Ty Conklin can step in for the Penguins. He just was placed on waivers from the Detroit Red Wings, so maybe just change the scenery for Ty Conklin, maybe come back. He was on the Penguins during that Stanley Cup run just a couple years ago, so maybe Conklin can step in for the Pens.
But do you really want to go out and make a move right now? There are other options, I think, around it, or maybe who knows how many games Johnson will play. Chris?
Yeah, Johnson shouldn't have that many games left to play. The Penguins only have about 3 sets of back-to-backs. That's about 3 games left for Johnson, maybe 1 more, so I have like 4 left on the season. Yeah, he's 3-7-2 this season, but the last 2 years, he's 23-11-4 with a .914 save percentage and a 2.47 goals against. He filled in pretty well at the beginning of last season, too, when Fleury hit a rough patch, only winning 1 of his first 9 starts. Johnson was able to take the reins when Fleury was down. Fleury came back, he played well, and he's been a solid vet. He's also someone you can put in the game, and those Islander games we saw last year, which became very physical, very non-hockey-like games where you don't want your mainstream goalie getting hurt. You don't want him injured for a long period of time. So you can put Johnson in those situations. He's a player that can take some damage and can give us some punishment, too, in front of the net.
I'm going to stop you there, Chris. I really think he's a good goalie for being on the Penguins right now, but once you get in the postseason play, you want someone reliable. For example, if Marc-Andre Fleury goes down with an injury, do you really want to trust Brent Johnson and go with your playoff run in your hands? I for sure would not want that in my scenario if I'm Coach Dan Bilesma. So I'd want a veteran goalie in the net as my backup. And I think Ty Conklin, he shows that veteran presence on a team, and he's out there on the market right now, and he could easily be on the Penguins. I think that's a move they really need to make because the way the injury woes are going, they need to make a move right now. And at the Penguins, I think the goalie is going to be their weakness if Marc-Andre Fleury would sustain an injury.
But Ty Conklin isn't the answer. He's only 3-8 on this season. That's actually worse than Johnson. There's the whole reason he's no longer in Detroit is because Joey McDonald has really picked it up as their backup with Jimmy Howard as their starter. So there's no need to have a third goalie in the team in Ty Conklin. So if he's not even able to be someone's backup, why are the Penguins going to want him as their backup when Johnson actually has better statistics than Conklin does on the season?
Well, I think a veteran presence is exactly what you need. When Ty Conklin was with the Penguins during that Stanley Cup run, he was 18-8 on that season, and I think he's just going to really pick it up. He's been in that situation before for the Penguins, and I think it's a scenario that the Penguins really fall into. He has that chemistry with the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's something that he's not familiar with. He's familiar with it very well, and I think he could really fit in with the Pittsburgh Penguin organization.
Now, I don't know if you want to go out and take out another contract right now before the trade deadline, but guys, if you do have to bring in a guy like Ty Conklin, it might not have enough room for Shear to go out and deal. But I want to ask you guys, what kind of move do you see the Penguins making here the next couple of weeks? The trade deadline is next Wednesday.
Well, I really see if we want to focus on the goaltender situation, there's a guy in the name of Jonathan Bernier. He's out of the Los Angeles Kings. He's only 23. He's a guy that's really good for the Kings as their backup goalie, and he could really step in for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's backing up Jonathan Quick, so he could be a really good result for the Penguins.
Chris, I don't know. They already got a starter goalie. Bernier, he's a future guy, but for the Penguins, what move do you see them go out and doing?
If the Penguins are going to do anything, I think they're going to get a veteran player like Jeff Carter or Rick Nash because the Columbus Blue Jackets are willing to deal out players right now because they need to dump some salaries. So the Penguins can maybe get them at a good deal because they're looking to possibly get rid of maybe Tyler Kennedy or Eric Tangradi, who have really kind of been disappointments to the Penguins this season.
Those guys might be a little steep. I'll tell you my trade deadline prediction. You're going to see a depth forward, whether it be Sammy Paulson. I'm hoping for Taylor Pyatt. That's my prediction. We'll see how that happens. Guys, thank you for joining us. You know what? The belt, it's going to go to Matt Desmond. Keep it over there. Tune in next week. We'll have all the highlights from the AMC tournament, all that just coming up soon. Matt showing it off. Same Pioneer time, same Pioneer channel. It's the Pioneer Sideline.